Today I will be showing you how to put together the Santa's Workshop box card. First we're going to piece together the sign. I know it's a little jiggly, but I just like to get some of my piecing work done first. So go ahead and add the Santa Workshop word to the sign in the shaped area. Then after this is done, we'll add it to the larger panel on the back. Now if you wanted to, you could use vinyl to put on those words, or you could actually print and cut this whole piece if you'd like. It's really your option. I did include a layered piece just in case you wanted to print and cut. And of course you can change the colors in the layered SVG for your machine. Then just go ahead and add the snow to the top to complete the sign. Just kind of hold it to the edge just to make sure that I get it in the right place. Then here I'm going to already put together one side. You see I'm doing it kind of fast. I sped this up. Going to put together the candy cane pillars for the side. And then I will put the middle insert piece in the window. So you just flip it over and add glue to the edge around the window really lightly. And then place your little cutout piece. You won't see it, so once it's on the panel, on the large panel. Then here I'm going to add these sides first, the side panels to the card. The reason I'm doing that is because of the shape of the front panels. So normally there's really a preference whether you want to add panels first before you assemble the box card, but in this case I'm doing it because it makes it easier to put together. Then I go ahead and add the little window frame. And then we'll add the snow pieces. Now for the top it's easy to recognize, but the bottoms you'll have to make sure that you have the right size before you add the glue, because the front bottom snow panels at the front of the box look similar to the ones on the side, just one's longer than the other. And then we'll repeat it on the other side. Now I'm going to add a couple elements to the front panel before I add it to the card. So again, I'm going to add the door, making sure that window opening matches, lines up. And then we'll add the snow next. Now if you do want to, you have the option of putting the candy cane pillars on prior to the snow, but in this case I'm adding the snow first, and then later we'll put the candy cane pillars on. One tip I want to say is that I am adding glue to these pieces, but do be careful. I did have some issues with pieces that I dropped, as you can see in the upper right hand corner, a little bit of glue residual. Fortunately that will be hidden, so that's why I am gluing to adding glue on these on the windows, around the windows first, rather than putting it on the actual trim. Because if you do drop it, the glue will get on the panel. So we'll just add that second window trim. And then it's ready. You could add in more, but I decided that was flat enough for the next steps. And then here we're going to put together the actual box card. So go ahead and add glue to that right right hand side tab, and then you'll line up that left edge of the back, and then you want to make sure it's lined up to that fold and apply pressure. And then once it's secure, you can go ahead and flip it over. This part's rather simple. You can pretty much fold it over and it should match right over the other tab that you have to glue it on. So go ahead and add glue, and then you'll line it up, make sure that the bottom's lined up, and apply pressure. Then once that's done, I like to fold it flat here and there just to make sure that it's secure. Once that's done, we'll add the little teddy bear silhouettes and the rocking horse silhouette to the insert. So just match up that cutout to the areas on the insert. One thing you will note that there are 2 inserts included in the file. One is this version, which has longer tabs, which I used, and the other has shorter tabs, and I'll explain the difference. So after we have these on here, we're going to insert the insert per se, glue it on to the inside of the card. So with this version with the long tabs, this insert will sit right in the middle of the card when it's open. So what you do is just add glue to that left tab, and then we'll attach it right below the side window, slightly above the bottom of the card. Then you want to make sure that the end of the tab actually touches the back of the card, and then you'll want to glue the other side on similarly. Now if you do use a shorter version, you can still use this version, but basically the shorter version allows you to pull the tabs forward and glue it so the ends touch the front of the box, and it makes it so those silhouettes are closer to the windows, easier to see from a different angle. You'll just have to take a look at it and see what you think. And then I just flatten it to apply pressure. Now that the actual box card is assembled, we'll add that front panel. We want to make sure those window openings match up to the window openings on the card itself. Then it makes it helpful. That's why you can see I don't want many elements, because I don't want to be running my hands over it. It's easier to flatten. Then you can see why we wanted to put those side panels on first. And then go ahead and add that back panel. And so I just match it up, the shape to the top. That's the easiest to get it on. And then apply pressure. Next we'll add the remaining elements of the card, which are the little candy cane pillars on either side. I used a little shiny cardstock for my white on this, so it kind of looks shiny like a candy cane. And then if you're wondering why I use different glue, because you'll see me using different glues. Sometimes I use the tacky glue when I want to be able to move it a little bit more once I get it on there. The Scotch Quick Dry sometimes dries a little quick for me. So that's the reason why I'm using tacky glue sometimes. Let's go ahead and add that snow panel, roof panel. And again, kind of line it up with your fingers to make sure it matches that top edge and all the edges all the way down. And then we'll add one on the back. I mean, that's up to you whether you want to add it, but I thought it would be a nice touch. In addition to the little panel that you can have for a private message, which you can stamp your own element, whatever you want to do, print and cut. But here's a little panel for you to add your personal message to the recipient. It's almost done. So last, we're going to add the Santa's Workshop sign, and I used foam tape, so it popped up a little bit. And that's it. I added a little wreath that I got from the craft store, and you see that it'll fold flat to send via the postal service. And I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching.